The term Wagyu beef literally translates to Japanese cow, where wa means Japanese and gyu means cow. However, the simple definition belies the complicated facts behind the umami-rich delicacy. For starters, it's pronounced Wagyu, not Wagyu, a fairly common mispronunciation. What's more, Wagyu isn't a blanket term for all Japanese cows. The Wagyu steak served at Michelin-starred restaurants refers to 4 specific breeds of Japanese cattle that have unique genetic traits. The American Wagyu Association says that Wagyu breeds can trace their genetics as far back as 35,000 years. Modern Wagyu cows are the result of crossing native Japanese cattle with imported breeds. This process began in 1868 when the government sought to integrate Western food into Japanese culture. Before this time, cows were primarily used as draft animals in agriculture and were bred primarily for physical endurance. Today, the 4 breeds of Japanese, black, brown, shorthorn, and polled, are considered Wagyu, although there are many sub-varieties of Wagyu cattle as well. The most premium cuts are sourced from only 10 regions, and one of the most expensive types is Matsuzaka Wagyu, which is valued for its tenderness and comes from virgin female cows. What makes Wagyu beef taste so great? Wagyu beef is visibly distinguished by streaks of white fat interlaced throughout its pinkish meat. It's this remarkable amount of intramuscular fat, also known as marbling, that gives Wagyu its famous buttery flavor that critics rave about. The fat is also responsible for Wagyu's soft, tender texture. The marbling isn't just tasty, it also provides healthy fatty acids like omega-3 and omega-6. In fact, Wagyu cattle were originally bred for agricultural labor precisely because of their inherent genetic marbling. The extra fat in their flesh provided them with an additional energy source, so they were able to work harder and longer than regular cattle. Comparatively, cuts of choice and select beef, official grades used by the USDA to evaluate meat, have less marbling. This means these leaner cuts are less juicy and tender. The marbling is also why Wagyu beef is so expensive. High-quality Wagyu can cost around $200 per pound, and a Wagyu cow can sell for as much as $30,000 at auction. Wagyu cows are naturally endowed with special genetic traits that lend their flesh a high degree of marbling, also called the quote marbling gene. However, there's also a lot of work that goes into cultivating Wagyu beef to the point where it can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. First, Japanese ranchers ensure only the cattle with the best genes are bred for Wagyu beef production. Breeders gather and analyze data about their cattle's progeny, such as statistics on the calves' marbling, which helps to determine which pairs to breed together in the future. This all ensures the highest quality beef. The Japanese government also mandates offspring testing among its Wagyu cows. Calves are bottle-fed milk by hand until they're about 10 months old, at which point they're sold to another rancher who feeds them a special recipe of whole grains. However, the specifics vary between farmers. Conventional cattle, on the other hand, are fed corn, while regular cows are encouraged to gain weight quickly and are given hormones to speed up the process. This is not the case with Wagyu. During the fattening stage, each cow eats 5 tons of food. Ranchers ensure they lead stress-free lives and expend as little energy as possible. This is because happier cows are tastier cows. Ranchers pamper their cows with special attention to achieve this goal. Wagyu is often used as an umbrella term, but Japan actually has over 200 brands of prized beef. Similar to how wine and cheese are often categorized according to region and method of cultivation, Japan classifies its beef by region, and each Wagyu brand meets different standards according to the production area. Just as Bordeaux, Burgundy, and Champagne wines only come from those specific wine-producing areas, regional brands of Wagyu can only come from certain parts of Japan. For superior levels of marbling, the following are considered the top 3 Wagyu brands in Japan: Kobe, Matsuzaka Ushi, and Omi beef. All of them originate from the region of Kansai, but each has a distinctive taste that sets them apart from one another. Of the 3, Kobe is the most well-known. It comes from Kobe City and Hyogo Prefecture. The cattle are fed a special mix of rice and corn, a diet that results in beef with high marbling, sweet flavor, and luscious texture. Matsuzaka Ushi comes from virgin cows in Matsuzaka City and the Mie Prefecture. These cows are fed beer by ranchers who give them highly personalized care and attention. This results in beef with particularly high fat content. Lastly, there's Omi Wagyu from the Shika Prefecture, where the distinctive beef is known for its tender fat. Historically, miso-marinated Omi beef was often given to shogun or military leaders in feudal Japan as medicine. The main difference between American Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu is that Japanese versions come from purebred cattle, whereas their American counterparts are mostly crossbred. According to Lone Mountain Wagyu, 4 Wagyu bulls were imported to the US in 1976. While Wagyu cows in Japan were carefully kept separate from other breeds to ensure the bloodlines remained pure, Wagyu cattle in the US were crossbred with Angus cows. It wasn't until 1993 that 3 Japanese black females were brought over to the US, resulting in the first purebred American Wagyu. Japan continued to export Wagyu cows, but only black and red breeds. That is, until 1997, when the country declared the prized cattle breed a national treasure and banned the export of Wagyu. As a result of crossbreeding, most American Wagyu boasts a high level of marbling, but still falls short compared to Japanese Wagyu when it comes to mouthfeel, umami, and meat-to-fat ratio.